So there you heard them talking about the crisis that the company is going through, and unfortunately that happens often when there's an economic crisis in the country. So let's look at the language that we use to describe a period of crisis in a company, and let's use the screen to help us. So what usually happens is that there's a bad forecast, the future doesn't look good, and there are negative trends, negative tendencies. So what happens? Things start going downhill, we say. A hill is like a small mountain. Things start going downhill. And then the company goes through a period of crisis. Then, if it's really bad, we talk about the company being in deep crisis. That's the worst situation to be in. But if it's not so bad, it's just temporary, we can talk about a passing crisis, a passing crisis. And then when things get better again, we usually say to recover from a crisis. Now, a crisis can actually have quite an effect on employment. And now I want to look at the language that we use in English to describe employment. It's very interesting because we have many different words to describe that, and maybe in your languages too. So, let's look at the screen. Think of an employee. When an employee goes into a company for the first time, we say in English that he or she joins the company. Now, when they decide to go, they leave the company or they resign. We say they resign, that's because they don't want to work anymore there. The pronunciation resign. Now, if they reach a certain age, they retire. Retire. If they decide to retire before the age of 65 or 60, we say to take early retirement. Early retirement. So those are the words which are usually related to the employees. But what about the companies? Well, companies, when they take people, companies recruit. That's difficult to pronounce. Recruit. Companies recruit employees. Another word is hire, to hire. Another verb is to take on. Now, the opposite is when they send people away, we say companies sack, which is a strange word, isn't it? Sack people, they fire people. And in fact, as I said before, in English we use hiring and firing as the term for employment. So they sack, they fire, they dismiss people, they let go, they let people go, they cut staff, or they lay off. That's another term that we use, lay off. So you can see there are many, many different terms that we use for employment description. Good. Well, that's the language of crisis and the language of employment. So that's all for now, and I'll see you again in the next lessons for more Business English. Bye.